Why don't you send someone to help my neighbour, Paul Dillon, who's lost his job today as a crane operator because he's taken so much time off from the tragedy, who was there as the building burned and offered translation services that night. You know, the council were wholly unable to deal with this. The council have got money, they've got credit cards, they've got phones. All people needed in the first instance was a hotel, and even that couldn't be arranged.
Well, let me ask you something, Joe Delaney, because, in fact, the residents have been organising themselves.
We have, yes.
Are you actually able to ameliorate any difficulties that you are encountering?
The group at the moment who's been offering the most support is a group called the Real Community, John. It's an umbrella group of all the local voluntary organisations, and they are now a well-oiled machine. No, they were not perfect from the outset. No one expected them to be. You know, this was unprecedented, as people keep saying. But my God, they tried, and my God, they improved, and my God, they listened.
But it does seem, though, quite extraordinary that the council is really allowed to run anything at the moment, given the hash it's made of this tower.
Precisely.
Well, I don't think they're running anything in terms of Grenfell now. This is national.
But they're running other services.
But they're running other services. They're running social services at the moment. They're running education. You know, how can we accept the Audit Commission's judgments on those services when blatantly that the score that they were given, outstanding for housing, was clearly absolute nonsense?
Well, the school is rated by Ofsted, not by the council itself.
No, the education department of the council. When it was audited, it was rated outstanding, along with the rest. Kensington and Chelsea supposedly a flagship council. You know, what flagship? The Titanic.
Kevin.
Yes, I quite understand. You know, I've been down to Grenfell. I've been into the houses of people who have been affected by this tragedy. I understand the anger, the lack of trust in terms of what has happened that's positive. Of the £5 million set aside, £2.5 million of that has been distributed. Offers of accommodation have been made.
Wholly inadequate offers of accommodation.
Absolutely
You're
right.
offering families that were already in overcrowded houses smaller properties.
And I quite understand that. And I think it's absolutely right that we consult the residents, we make sure they get appropriate offers of accommodation. Nobody's compelled to accept any of these offers, and if people want to stay in hotel accommodation rather than a temporary move, then another move to permanent accommodation, I quite understand that. But the biggest issue, I think, is this emotional support about the tragedies, about loved ones whose bodies have not been recovered, making sure that people have got proper support from an individual, not just from a body. I think that will help to rebuild this trust.